Welcome back to Chalk Talk. This week we're going to talk about pattern recognition, which is a kind of a strange church topic, but I'll get there. Now, Jim, they say the difference between a good quarterback and a quarterback that doesn't make it in the NFL is his understanding of where the players are on the field before he throws the ball. It has been said that Joe Montana had great pattern recognition, meaning as soon as he saw what was happening, he would be able to throw the ball to a spot and be able to hit the receiver, even though the defense was maybe trying to do something else. So pattern recognition is a huge thing, and it's almost at a subconscious level. You're talking about winning someone to the Lord. You're talking about sharing the gospel with somebody. What is the pattern recognition to where you say to yourself, this person is ready to hear the truth about the gospel and they are ready to know Jesus? What are you looking for?
Well, I don't know that's a skill set I've got down. There are times where it's just so obvious, and there are times when I've just completely missed it. So I don't think anybody gets that down perfect. I think the first thing you have to do is you have to say, I have been called to be an ambassador. I accept that that's my role, that God is the great chess master, and He's putting me into play. He's asked me to play a part in His message, and He's putting me into play. So am I aware of that, and are my eyes open at all? And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about every believer.
No, you're not saying that God's manipulating, but you're saying that we have a role, that we live out His will. Isn't that right?
Well, manipulation, that's kind of a negative term. God is maneuvering. He wants to save the world. He has saved us for a purpose. He has called us to be His ambassadors. Our job is to say, not my will be done, but yours, Lord. I'm available for you to use me. And I know that if I pray that prayer, God's going to bring people into my life. He's going to bring strangers. He's going to bring people. And my job is to recognize, to remember, I am His. I have prayed that God would use me. Where's that going to happen? And again, it's not just for me. This is Christians in general.
Right.
We are called to do this. And so then there's a couple of things. First of all, I want to love people well. I want to be the kind of person that is alert and awake to the needs of others. Mm-hmm.
And do you pray about that, or how do you do that?
I think every day you pray about that. You remember who you are. That's why I need the Word to remind me, because my flesh will just start moving to activity. Mm-hmm. Even what I listen to on the radio, I want everything I can in my life to remind me, friends, music, who I am. Mm-hmm. Because if God wants to use me, then people's salvation is at stake, and I want to be available to be used. Again, God may just use me to plant a seed, and somebody else gets to play the part. And if I miss it, God can bring a person, somebody else, or bring them back again. You know, so I don't want to make it sound like if I blow it, they're going to hell. If God wants to save somebody, He's going to do it, and He wants to use people, and I'm a part of that team.
Right, and you're owning that responsibility, and part of that responsibility is you're aware.
I'm aware. And so then secondly, I try to be friendly. I try to look for opportunities. Sometimes, I'll be on a plane and there is no opportunity. I ask questions, how you doing? And they don't want to talk. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I can take a nap. Mm-hmm. But there are other times when, just this last week, I sat on a plane next to a guy and he gets his phone out and he's reading his Bible. I said, what are you reading? And he says, I'm reading the Bible. And I said, well, what are you reading in the Bible? And it led to a 2-hour conversation that went by like in 15 minutes, it felt like. So you're looking for opportunities, you're aware, you're just saying, Lord, is there something you want me to do here? You're looking for needs. Mm-hmm. In other words, if somebody looks down, or if somebody falls down, or somebody's having a hard week, it can be just, I'm praying for you. Mm-hmm. How are you doing? You're just taking the time to notice the need and see if there's an opportunity by asking an extra question. Not, like the Samaritan, they went on the other side of the road to get away from the problem because they were too busy. Mm-hmm. Am I willing to stop for a minute and ask another question? Mm-hmm. And again, I want to say, nobody does this perfectly. There are times when I've missed it, but Am I growing in this? And so I'm aware, I'm available, and then I'll just ask questions. If it leads to a spiritual conversation, I'll just ask, well, what do you believe about that? You know, I'll even say things like, well, could I share with you my story? Could I share with you what Jesus has done in my life and why I'm a Christian? And I'll just tell the story. Mm-hmm. And again, if they want to argue, I'm not into arguing. If they have real questions mm-hmm. and they're willing to listen, I'm going to try my best. Sometimes I don't have the answers for that, and I'll say, I don't know about that, but I do know this. Mm-hmm. I'll say, you know, can I get your number? Let me call you back on that, because that's a great question. I want to empathize with them, be available to them.
That's great advice, Jim. Thanks for that. And so again, beware, look for opportunities, and be ready to share the gospel.